is this soft diplomacy that's working, or is it personality cult politics? Does cricket diplomacy work? How do India-Australia ties actually benefit? Image building exercise by Prime Minister as the opposition alleges? Just some of the issues we'll raise. G. Parthasarathy is a former High Commissioner to Australia and also a great cricket fan. Sanju Verma is a BJP spokesperson. And Amee Yajnik is Congress MP. I appreciate all of you joining us. Let me get this first from you, Mr. Parthasarathy. When you see those visuals, do you see that as the opposition alleges, self-obsession, personality, cult politics? Or do you see it as effective diplomacy using sport?
Well, I wouldn't like to politicize this. In fact, I'd call it a bit of imaginative diplomacy. Anthony Albanese is an Australian Prime Minister who is really moving the process forward after our own relations forward. We're playing a cricket match and it turns out that it is taking place on his way to the United States to meet President Biden. So, as I said, if you see recently in the World International Football Tournament in Qatar, you had the French president as an invitee because France was playing in the final. He was a guest of the Qatar government. So I think we shouldn't be oversensitive. As I said, in fact, when everybody was critical of the Pakistan Prime Minister being invited, I said, why not? If you're playing cricket, why can't you invite the Prime Minister? So you shouldn't confuse cricket and politics. But yes, there is a diplomatic gain because both Australia and India are friendly countries, and we are talking of cooperation across both the Indian and Pacific Oceans, something which we've never done in the Quad. And therefore, if he comes here, and he is a cricket fan. When I was in Australia, Howard, the Australian Prime Minister, told me that he would have been delighted to visit India during a test match. So you should take it in that spirit and not politicize. I wouldn't politicize anything, but then I'm not in politics.
So you're saying don't politicize it.
But as far as diplomacy is concerned,
you're saying it's imaginative diplomacy. Cricket is something. Cricket is intrinsic in a way to the Australian way of life. So
yes, I think for
sorry, do complete. Yes, Mr. Parthasarathy.
Well, all I can say is that this does work.
Yes.
All I can say is this does work. Australians appreciate it. You're a country you're building relations with. And you invite the Prime Minister to a test match. And the Australians, I said Prime Minister Howard was cricket crazy. And I wouldn't be surprised if Prime Minister Albanese is similarly so.
Okay, let me take what you are saying to, let me now take what you are saying to Amee Yajnik, because Amee Yajnik, you're a member of parliament from Gujarat. Jairam Ramesh is calling it self-obsession, suggesting that here is the Prime Minister of the country doing a lap of honor in a stadium named after him, being given a photograph by Jai Shah of himself. I mean, is this being excessively critical? I'm going to show you pictures now that when y'all were in power, Manmohan Singh was doing cricket diplomacy with President Musharraf of Pakistan. So we've had with Prime Minister Gilani of Pakistan. So you've had examples where Indian Prime Ministers have used cricket to try and build bridges. When Mr. Modi does it, how does it become self-obsession?
I think there is no issue of this kind of a diplomacy taking place. I think whatever you have quoted about the Member of Parliament, he has used the word self-obsession. Now let me remind you one thing, that this stadium in Ahmedabad, in Gujarat, I think I have been seeing the stadium from my childhood, or maybe when I was in college, and it was named as Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Stadium. And Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is the Iron Man of India. And you know, we have a statue of unity in Gujarat. Now just to strip off that stadium of that name, just to remove Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel one fine day and put the Honorable Prime Minister has put his own name there, I think nobody could question Of course, Gujarat's Asmita took a backseat. Many people raised their concerns from various spheres of Gujarat, but nothing happened. So the question here is that he named it, he took the name of the stadium of our laudable leader, very tall leader, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and put his own. He then became the chief guest there, of course, because he's Honorable Prime Minister. There is nothing wrong with the diplomacy taking place, cricket diplomacy, whether it is soft diplomacy, whatever they talked about,
Yes.
issues of both the countries. Maybe they were friendly or maybe they were important issues, no problem. But all the time, if you see that only the Honorable Prime Minister is in the frame, a photograph of his own self is given to him by his very close and near dear person, the son, and then he also has a lap of honor where the stadium is named after him. He has named the stadium. So something shows that there is something I, me and myself. That was I think the sense I got from the whole thing. But diplomacy, well, it can be in any
So you're
form.
saying
I
I, me, myself.
desired results.
You're
And,
saying that there is
we
an
get something
element
out of it.
Okay. You're saying there's an element of I, me, myself.